Hi, and welcome to Wellness Wednesday. My name is Amy, and I'm a program assistant with Bagot. Today we're going to chat a little bit about World Thrombosis Day. This particular issue is one that is very close, near, and dear to my heart. My husband, 8 years ago, actually, it's funny actually, because Facebook memories, you get to go through things, and this whole last week I've been going through step by step, watching his experience from 8 years ago when he had what is known as a saddle pulmonary embolism. 90% of the time that is found in autopsy. And his experience was that he actually was not feeling well. He was getting very winded when he'd walk up steps. He was very tired, kind of out of breath for really no reason. So he took himself to urgent care, which, mind you, was shocking, okay? So as soon as I found out he'd gone to a doctor on his own, I was like, something's not right. They took x-rays and didn't see anything in his lungs, but they said, we think you probably have pneumonia, and they sent him home on antibiotics. A week later, I was sitting in my hairstylist chair getting my hair cut when I get a text asking if I'm coming home soon. And I text back, we're almost done, and why? And he says, because he'd passed out. Now, he had thought he was feeling a little bit better that morning when I left, but obviously was not. So this was a week after he'd gone and gotten his antibiotics. So I said, do I need to call 911? And he said, yes. So you've never seen me freak out more than that. Like to the point that the 911 operator told me I should probably drive a little slower because apparently they were following my phone. Anyway, I called 911, obviously, and had them sent to the house. And meanwhile, I'm running out of the chair with my cape still on and heading home as fast as I can. And when I get there, the emergency people were saying, talking to my husband, saying, your heart looks good and you sound fine, but we can give you a ride to the hospital. And he kept saying, no, I'm feeling better already, even though he'd had to crawl to our front door to open it because he couldn't get enough energy to get to the door. So he was still like, I'm feeling a little bit better, it's okay, everything will be all right. And the guy just kept saying, we can give you a ride to the hospital. And finally he looked at me and said, is he normally gray? And I said, no, my husband's Greek. He normally has a little bit more of a brown tan to him. So we agreed that maybe he should take that ride to the hospital, and I'm pretty sure that is what saved his life. I don't know if he would have woken up the next day. When we got there, initially the doctor said, well, there's still nothing on your x-ray, but we think your pneumonia's gotten worse. We're going to give you some antibiotics and this and that. And finally another doctor came in and started asking him some questions about whether he had had any, leg injuries, whether he'd had any leg pain, whether he'd had any back pain. And she wouldn't let him explain it away because he kept saying I was training for a half marathon and this and that was going on. And she kept going, no, just answer the questions yes or no. And of course, so many of them were yes. And I believe at that point she knew. And we were lucky we'd gotten a doctor who had some experience with it, because it's often mistaken as being pneumonia. And so it doesn't get diagnosed when it should. And that is also why it's often missed. So with today being World Thrombosis Day, I just wanted to talk a little bit about that, share my experience with it, because it happens. I mean, like I said, 90% of the time, a saddle pulmonary embolism is found in the autopsy. So we were very, very lucky. So signs that you have a DVT blood clot are pain in your, usually in your legs, tenderness, swelling. There can be some redness and some warmth. So if you have that going on, he knew he had a little bit of a leg injury. He just, was doing the typical sports thing, elevated ice, that kind of thing. And that wasn't going to work because that wasn't the problem. So, definitely paying attention to that. And for pulmonary embolisms, the signs to look for are kind of like I mentioned, unexplained shortness of breath, rapid breathing, chest pain, rapid heart rate, and lightheadedness, and of course passing out is a one to look for. So again, I've said this before, but I'll say it again, you know your body and you know when something's not right. And if you feel that blood clots in your lungs, the PEs, don't show up on an x-ray. They only show up if an MRI is done. So all those x-rays he was having, if you're having those symptoms and you go in and they x-ray and they say we don't see anything, but it does, maybe you have pneumonia, push a little bit. Be your own best advocate, okay? And say, I know there are some signs, and can we look a little further into possibly the PE possibility, just in case. It's always worth checking out. All right, and in all ways, when it comes to your health, You know your body. When you're feeling something that doesn't seem right, be your own best advocate and push to be seen, to be taken care of, to have the tests you need done. All right? I hope you all have a fabulous week, and we will see you again next week.